Hi, how are you? Welcome to Remember's Corner. So today I want to talk about fear. Fear is one of the most challenging thing that if you don't control in being a sound engineer, it can actually limit your potential or the things that you can actually do. So there are just a few. There's like one particular myth that I also want to just like ghost bust right now. That you know what, sound equipment is complicated. I've got this principle that I say to myself that no one designs equipment just for it to be complicated. You know, no one would design software for sound engineers just to make it complicated for no reason. So so the key thing is always just understand that any piece of sound equipment, any piece of software that you apply for sound engineering, being it capturing it or storing it or playing it back, it is all made just to serve a purpose. And the purpose in sound is, if it is live sound, is sound is happening at the source. It comes from the source, it gets through equipment to process it, and then from that equipment it goes to amplifiers, which takes the sound to speakers. That is it. End of story. That whole process, you can have 25 buttons to control that process, but it is just because the 25 buttons are doing different things to add color to that sound or to route it to somewhere. Like, for example, if you're doing sound in a venue and then now you've got toilets, they also want the sound, then you've got a foyer, they also want the sound. There's no ways we can only send one feed to the toilet and the foyer, because maybe in the toilets they want it a little bit lower and in the foyer they want it a little bit higher. So for that purpose, then that means we've got two knobs controlling that audio feed. And now think, there's also under the balcony they also want an audio feed there, and the speakers there are different from the speakers in the front. And again, where the speakers are, there's a chance that they will hit the back and get a bit of reflection. So which means we just want our speakers just loud enough for the people back there to hear. So which means now you've got three knobs now that you need to control. But if you're using an amateur mixer, for example, like those small format mixers, they only have like two outputs or four other outputs. But the more places that you want to send audio to, the more outputs you then get on the bigger mixers. So the key thing is just that no matter how equipment looks complicated, no matter how it looks overwhelming, the key thing, just understand that every piece of equipment is made to serve a purpose. And when you're using this equipment, you all you need to understand is, what do you want to achieve in this particular event? What is the purpose? And even if you've never used that particular piece of equipment before in your life, when you then do your research either on internet, on Google, or you're going through YouTube, you're looking for that specific thing that you need to get you to do what you need to achieve. So for example, if I'm using a new mixer for the first time, my key thing is to know, how do I get a signal into the mixer and how do I get it out. That is the basic thing. And how do I control EQ on that signal coming in, because EQ will help me get the sound that is coming from my source. It helps me to do that creative EQing that makes me, once the signal passes through my mixer, when it goes to the people who are listening, if it's a guitar, it will sound as if you're sitting next to the guitar. So that is all I need to find out. But now, if you just go into a manual of the mixer and you're reading all the different things and specs, all of that information will just get into your head, and it is going to be irrelevant for that particular moment in time when people are sitting waiting and expecting to hear sound. So the key thing is just to understand that yeah, with equipment, don't be overwhelmed, don't be fearful. Just understand that everything is made for a purpose, and with that, let that calm you down, and then try to then figure out what is the purpose, what do you need to achieve right now, because life sound is always about right now. So if you focus on the right now, you basically get the information and get the job done. And then after that, now you then start looking at how can you then do it better next time. And from there, that's how you grow as a life sound engineer. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Thank you for watching Remember's Corner.